Let's interface an MCP server running within a Windows subsystem Linux WSL with Claude desktop. If you haven't already set up an MCP server with Claude, then go to the Files and then Settings in the menu. Then click on the Developer tab. Click the Edit Config button. This will open up the config file location. Let's open it in the code editor, and it should have these braces if you're setting this up for the first time. Let's set up this basic file system MCP server. The thing is, I don't have Node installed on Windows Path. I have it in my WSL. All my dev tools are in WSL. So this wouldn't work out of the box. Let's fix this. And along the way, let's also see how to leverage the logs from Claude to debug setup errors. I'll paste the setup that I copied from the MCP website and make a few tweaks. My command should be wsl.exe, and I need to run the npx command through bash and also provide the directory path to which the MCP server should have read-write access to. This will not work yet. We need a few more tweaks. But let's load this in Claude and debug the errors using its log file. Let's restart Claude desktop app and wait for it to load the MCP server configuration. As expected, we see an error. Let's see what it is. We can understand more on what went wrong by looking at the logs. So let's open the log file. Let's scroll down to the latest logs. The issue seems to be the non-existent directory path. So let's fix that. I copied the sample directory path from the MCP website. So first thing is to replace it with an actual user path on my system. The second problem is how we access the SSD drive partitions from within the WSL. It should be under the /mount/c. Let's change that as well. Finally, we want the server to be active, so let's start it in an interactive mode by passing the additional I option to bash. This should have fixed our problem. Let's restart the Claude desktop app. Let's wait for the configurations to load. We can see that the file systems tool has successfully loaded now. And we can also see all the individual tools in it. I'm going to use this file system MCP server to create a text file on my desktop using the Claude LLM. It will prompt for a couple of permissions. One thing is to read a file from the directory. I'll allow it once, and then it would start generating the content. And it would also ask for another permission to write once, and I'll allow it during the session. And we see that the task is completed. Let's check if we have a file in our desktop. Claude has actually created a text file on my desktop, and it has also put in the content I asked it to. So this is how we can interface an MCP server running in a WSL with the Claude desktop app that is running on Windows.